Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our latest webinar directed at resellers. I never quite know who and how many people I'm talking to, so drop in the comments where you are viewing from, and I'll be sure to give you a shout out and at least try say hello whilst I try and multitask my way through this webinar. And fingers crossed you can hear me okay, because I'm using an external microphone, which I hope is working. I see we have somebody, Umangish, in the comments. Whereabouts in the world are you joining us from? So I'm just going to give it a few seconds just to let anybody join that is looking to join. I see we have a couple of people already on board. And hopefully you're going to learn a bit about Social Wi-Fi's product and how it can work for you as a product to resell within your business. My name is Paul Webster. I'm the CEO of Social Wi-Fi. I'm talking to you from our head office in Warsaw in Poland, which, as I look out the window, is miserable and wet and cold today. But hopefully, wherever you're watching from, it's a bit better. So I'm going to crack on then. And I'm going to, let me change the layout here of what I'm sharing of my screen. And let me start off by showing you this. This is our tiers for resellers, and we can start from you just refer clients to us, all the way through authorized partner, gold partner, and platinum partners. And basically the difference between these is things like the amount of work that is involved for you, how hands-on you're going to be with the client through the sales process, the onboarding, and ultimately that's going to have an impact on how much money you will earn reselling Social Wi-Fi. So we can come back to this later on, and as you watch through this webinar, it will hopefully give you some ideas of what's going to be right for you. Essentially, authorized gold and platinum are all the same. It just, when you're at this level, it depends on how much volume of business you're doing through Social Wi-Fi. But ultimately, presumably you're watching this because you have an IT business or you have a marketing business and you are already supplying the hospitality sector with your services. And Social Wi-Fi is very geared towards helping brick and mortar businesses such as restaurants, hotels, shopping malls, anywhere that is already giving their customers a free Wi-Fi network. We're a good fit for them, because we are focused on four main problems really for these business operators, and that is, who are their customers, how happy are their customers, do they tell their friends about you, and are they visiting you more often? We're looking to answer them some questions, but it all begins with knowing who their customer is. So that's why essentially we use the Wi-Fi network as a data capture mechanism. And if I just go through the PowerPoint presentation that we have, and I will show you the dashboard and the product in just one moment. I don't know why this is just jumping to the end. But yeah, this is our main opening point when we're having a sales conversation with people. We're actually going against typical sales theory by asking closed questions, but they're quite powerful questions. If you go to a restaurant owner or an operator of a shopping mall and ask them, "Do you know who your customers are?" generally they're going to answer no. And in their head, they're going to start building up this picture of, I have a problem. How can you solve that problem for me? You know, essentially, if you don't know who your customers are, you have no way to influence them spending more money with you. You have no way to influence them coming back in the future, gaining recommendations, which we do through our online review gathering system. So if you don't know who your customers are, you're at a huge disadvantage. And if you compare that to the online e-commerce giants, they know exactly who their customers are, they know exactly what they're doing on their websites, and they get you to spend more and more money by retargeting you. And that's how they become Amazon, Allegro, these businesses become billion-dollar giants because they're able to track everything and they're able to remarket to you based on what you're doing on their site. We're taking similar principles to what they use and putting them into our product for brick and mortar businesses. And so as we go through the product, I'll show you the product quite soon. Branded Wi-Fi login pages, email marketing based on people's interactions with the business that they're visiting. So that could be an email delivered automatically when they first log into the network on their first visit, for example. It could be if they haven't visited in so long. So we have an email automation that says, if this customer hasn't visited in X amount of days, deliver them an email. It's potentially a lost customer. What have you got to lose? So that's a really popular one for restaurant clients, especially. We've got our online review gathering system. Absolute gold dust for any business in the hospitality sector. They often live and die by their online review scores. So we have a system for automatically gathering feedback from people, and we have a system that presents the customer a different flow depending on if they have positive feedback or negative feedback. Now, this is going to be really important for a lot of the people on this call. They're going to want to know which hardware vendors we integrate with, and the majority of them are listed on this page here. We're integrated with the vast majority of the enterprise hardware hardware ecosystem. So Ubiquiti Unify, Cisco Meraki, TP-Link Omada, just to name a few. If your client has any equipment from a supported brand, the likelihood is you'll be able to install our service onto that equipment without having to buy anything extra. If your client doesn't have any compatible hardware, maybe they're just using the router from their internet service provider, or they're using, for example, some Huawei access points, brands that we don't support, you always have the MikroTik router option, which can just connect into any network. It can be configured with social Wi-Fi. And if you configure it in the right way, any network in the world can broadcast social Wi-Fi. 24/7 dashboard, as you would expect. We have some retargeting and remarketing tools, which I'll come on to. Very neat Facebook ads integrations, Google ads integrations, creating targeted audiences of known customers. And there's expansions on that using things like the lookalike audiences. But it's really going to help your clients use their online ad spend more wisely. And many industries this works for. And also, it can work anywhere in the world. Maybe if we take out places like North Korea, it's not going to work. But no matter where you are in the world, we have clients in 85 different countries. Actually, it might be more than that now. And we're looking as far to the east as New Zealand, which isn't actually on this map here. Gonna have to speak to marketing about this. We've removed New Zealand from the world, but we have clients in New Zealand all the way over here, and we have clients in California, Los Angeles, San Diego. So we're covering a hell of a lot of time zones. So no matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to get this this product from us. I'm interested as to where people are watching this webinar from. So do mention in the comments where you're joining us from. Maybe we're already in your country. And also use the comments to ask any questions that you might have as we go through this webinar. If I see questions pop up, I'll try and answer them as we go. So taking a look at the product itself, you can see here that I'm logged into a fictitious brand here called Luxury Hotel Group, and we have 9 venues within that, what we call a project. So if you have a client with multiple locations, that can all be managed from a single login. So it's built for scale. We have clients with hundreds of venues within their group. We've built this in a way that you can manage and maintain everything from one login, and also cascading changes is relatively easy as well. Now, as a reseller, you're going to have multiple clients. What you can do is you can add extra projects within your dashboard and then give access to your clients to those individual projects. So from a single login view, you'd be able to see all of your clients, but your clients would only be able to see their brands, which hopefully makes sense to you. But this is designed in a way to make it very simple for you to manage and maintain. So if I pick beachfront restaurant here, I set up some branding earlier in the day for this. So if I just click through here and show you what this login system looks like for a fictitious hotel brand. So first thing we're doing on this example, and I'm showing you this as an option, and it's a recently released function by us. You're able to ask a yes/no question before people even get onto the Wi-Fi login page. So in this case, a very common question for hotels to ask is, "Are you staying with us for business?" And the guest can click yes or no. And when they go through the login process, that information is going to be posted in the user data section, which can be exported, can be integrated into your CRM, so that you not only have information about that customer, as in their name, their email address, the date of birth, but you also know if they're a business customer, or for this example, if they're a business customer or if they're just there for leisure. So if I say I'm a business customer, I now get to the Wi-Fi login page itself. And here you can configure numerous login options. So we have Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and you can also have an email form here as well. We've got some funky stuff going on with the fonts here. But you can also ask additional questions here. So if you want to add in people's first name, date of birth, hometown, you may add additional fields for that. Of course, the information is not verified. The only thing we're verifying is the email address, but you can ask more if you would like. Facebook login is not supported by MacBook and iPad for reasons between Facebook and Apple, if we're honest. If anyone's interested, follow up and I'll tell you the in-depth reason as to why that's the case. But Facebook login works on every other device that there is. Question here. Can I ask any yes/no question, or is it predefined? I guess that means. So you can define what that question is. The answer has to be yes or no. We will develop in the future the ability for you to have your own custom answers. So maybe the question would be, what is the purpose of your visit? And the answer could be business or leisure. But for the time being, the question is just a yes/no. It's just a yes/no answer. So you need to word your question in a way that suits a yes/no, a yes/no answer. So if I go through the login process here with the strange font, and the reason it's strange is because we can add custom font packs as well. So if your client has a font that they're using for their brand, they can upload that and everything can have the look and feel of the client's brand. So a lot of people ask us, what's the difference between you and all these other companies out there that are doing this product? If you go on Google and you search our name, Social Wi-Fi, you'll find page after page of companies doing very similar things to us. We all do Wi-Fi login. We all do data capture from that. Generally, most of us are doing email marketing. Most of us are doing review gathering. One of the key things that we excel above others on is the design of the Wi-Fi login pages and all of the marketing communication. I'll show you the drag and drop creator in a moment, but there's so much potential here. You see that there's no reference to social Wi-Fi on this login page whatsoever. It's almost white label to your client's brand. We want the guest of the hotel or the customer of the restaurant to look at the Wi-Fi login page and think, I know who I'm dealing with here. Whereas if they're dealing with a tech company from another part of the world, suspicion about what they're going to do with the data can arise. So we want this to really look and feel like the customer's brand. So if I click connect here, that email address is already verified for data protection purposes, but there would be an in-between screen here for GDPR. You can put in your own terms and conditions if you want, and it's going to ask the customer if they want to opt into marketing communication or not. That's the law. That's an email address I've used previously, so it's not showing me that screen. But now we get to the welcome page. Excuse me. And this is the point at which the customer has access to the internet, so you can put banner advertising on here. So I've only put one on here, but you could have two side by side. You could have YouTube videos. I'll give you a bit more idea of that in a moment. And these can be linked as well. So the idea here is we want to guide the customer to the place where you want them to go. And generally, that's where they can spend a bit more money. So if you're a hotel, it's very popular to put banner advertising for the spa facilities, excursions, taxis, airport transfer, the things that's going to get a bit more money out of the customer's pocket and into the business's pocket. So when your clients are asking you, are there other ways to monetize this and just from the data captured? Absolutely. They could even go to local businesses, sell the advertising space, and make direct cash from that and cover their costs. So in this case, if I click this, it opens up Social Wi-Fi's pricing page. But just to give you an idea there of what is possible. And at that point, the customer's online and the login process is completed. So if you've got any questions about the login process, please add comments in the chat, and I will look to address them. But whilst I wait for anything to come through, I'll go into our drag and drop creator and just show you what that agreement page looks like. But this now is the drag and drop content creator. This is the same for any of the pages and any of the emails that we have. The only thing that's different are the options that you will get on the right hand side. You're presumably familiar with drag and drop content creators. But yeah, as I said, if I select any element, I'm going to get some new options on the right hand side, and you can even edit the wording that we have in here. So we've got wording here that is legally sound for the GDPR. But if you have lawyers that want to have a bit more, they want to tweak this, they can do. And if I go to the welcome page, we get more options here because there's more flexibility. They have internet access. We can guide them to some places. Here I said I've got just the one banner. If I want to, I could add a couple of rows here, and I could put in a couple of images. I'll just put the same one in twice. See, I'm just selecting elements from the right hand side, and when I click on them, I get options on the right. So by clicking here, you can see it's asking me which URL do I want this to redirect to. I could also add in things like YouTube video. I could adjust the width of this. So if I select the YouTube video, I just have to drop in the URL that I want. I could adjust the width of this. Let's say it's a 60% width, make it look a bit neater. So that's an option. I could also ask for feedback on this page, although not so popular because, if someone's logging into the Wi-Fi, they probably just arrived. They don't have too much feedback to give. We also have call to actions for things like, talk to us on WhatsApp. So if you're running your hotel customer service, guest services through WhatsApp, you can have people click on that link and it'll open up their WhatsApp application. We're very big at social Wi-Fi on using WhatsApp because we use it for a lot of our customer service. We know it's very convenient for customers, and we've built a whole new product around WhatsApp communication. So that's another thing you can add in. Similar with Facebook Messenger. So you can build up a page with lots of different options here, and there should be something for your clients to like. And you can also add additional language packs. So this is the default English version. If you needed a second language, so perhaps you wanted it in Japanese, if I was to click the plus button there, it will duplicate the entire page, and then you just have to change the text out for the Japanese translation of that. So this is built for multiple languages. We will detect what language people have on their device, and we'll present them the page relevant to them. So at this point, the user has gone through the login process. Now, I'm not going to click user data because there might be some customer data in there from a trial that we did, and I can't breach data protection laws. But just trust me, any data that we capture goes into that user data tab, and there will be the option for you to download that as an Excel file. Other things you can do is you could use our Zapier application to connect social Wi-Fi's data to other applications that have a Zapier application. It's like an API, but Zapier acts as a middleman for people that don't want to do the coding. You could also connect it with via webhooks, which is another popular method. But for the more enterprise clients and people that know how to do these things, we also have an open API, and access to all of our API documentation is online. So if this is relevant for any of you or something you would like to explore, let us know. It is a locked function. We'll unlock it for you, and you can look at developing integrations with your own systems. Just partners, I guess, you may have developed your own tools, and that will be an interesting option for you. So we capture the data, but then we're also giving you access to that data in order to push it into perhaps your CRM tools and other places. Now, I mentioned earlier that we're asking everybody for their feedback to gather online reviews. So I'm not able to send one of these to myself, but I can show you how it looks in our drag and drop creator. Again, there's many options here because we can change the wording on the text here. We can change the emojis. So if you want stars, you can. If cats are your thing, you can have them. So we've got a few options here. All of the artwork, the color schemes, the fonts, they can be adjusted and tweaked as well. But essentially, we've captured this data from your customers. Presumably, as a business, online reviews are important to you. How do you get more online reviews? You should just ask more people, right? So we have a scalable way for doing that. And what we also have is a mechanism that, depending on if people give a positive review or a negative review, will take them to a different follow-up page. So you can even configure what you consider to be positive in the settings section. So by default, we say 4 stars and 5 stars is positive. But if you only want 5-star reviews going online, then you can adjust that. You can also adjust when the review request gets sent. You can set reminders. Crucially, though, you can determine where people are directed to leave an online review. So you can add up to 7 But our recommendation is to only add one, because if we only add one, we'll take people straight to that page. So from getting this review request email, if I was to hit 5 stars, I would get taken directly to, oh, this is Social Wi-Fi's review page, which in this case isn't such a good one to test with. So I need to have a think how I can show you this differently. Pressure's on now. I have to try and work this out. So let me think of a business. So let's just pick a Starbucks, and hopefully they are gathering Google reviews. So if I copy this link now, I didn't hit save, did I? Just trust me, it will take you directly to the Google review page with the review window popped up and open. Now, if they leave a negative review, we don't want them putting that online. So we'll take them to a landing page, again, fully brandable. You can edit the artwork, the logos, the fonts, always the case. But we're just going to ask them for feedback. What did the business get wrong? Why are you unhappy? And that's hopefully going to get the problem off the customer's chest. And it's going to give the business important feedback. Maybe there are problems that they need to resolve. So any feedback that is gathered, it's going to get put into the inbox up here. And if we had feedback, it would look just like your Gmail inbox. You're going to see who sent it. You're going to see when they sent it. You're going to see their feedback. And what's more, as a business owner or a manager, you can go in and you can reply to that customer directly from our dashboard. So again, we're not just gathering this data, we're giving the business the tools to utilize that data in a way that's going to add value to their business. Resolving customers' complaints and making them happy, that's an absolute win for a business, right? So that's the review system. Any questions about that? Again, drop them in the comments, and I will try and pick those up as we're going through. But I'm going to jump into our email automations, because this is where we can start to directly contact people based on their interactions with the business, with your marketing messages. So I have one here. I'm not entirely sure what I've got in here, but it's a loyalty test email. And I've got some email content here. So let's just go back and I can edit this up. Now, first of all, editing the settings, I can select from a number of different email types. So we've got first visit email, loyalty email, not seen in, and I think there's 8 in total. Now, if I take this loyalty email, for example, whatever I create here will, from the settings that we have, will be sent to every customer that has logged in for the second time 1 minute after that login. Now, maybe I want this to go on every 5th visit. Perhaps you're a coffee store. You want to thank customers on every 5 visit, 5, 10, 15, and so on. We can set that up. Whatever the rule you set, we're going to deliver the emails based on that rule. So if it was the first visit email, this is very popular with hotels. They want to welcome their guests with useful information. Set that for 10 minutes after their first login. All your new guests are going to get that email. And, the great thing about hotels is almost everyone logs into the Wi-Fi within about 15 minutes of arriving. So they arrive, they log into the Wi-Fi, 10 minutes later, useful email in their inbox. Good idea to put, again, your upsells, but, key information, what time's breakfast, what entertainment have you got going on, that kind of thing. And then once again, we have the drag and drop email creators. So I have a basic one here that I created earlier, but you can see on the left-hand side, I have many more options that I can start dragging in and dropping and editing up. So we can add redirection links on any artwork here. Again, I could add the WhatsApp call to action. I could add additional text fields. Lots and lots of options. If I was to go through all of them, I'd be here for a long time. We can edit the subject line, obviously, and we can add multiple language packs again. You're editing everything on desktop version, but it scales for mobile. So yeah, dynamic to different device types. And I could go on and on about the email marketing tools. The drag and drop creator is obviously pretty standard for across the internet for how you create branded emails. But the unique thing that we're doing here is we do offer mass mailing, but we're more focused on the emails based on somebody's interactions with your business. So as I go through, when we look at the dashboard, the left-hand side, as you would expect, has lots of tabs. The top 4 tabs here, home, statistics, data, and inbox, is sort of the outputs of the system. So you're going to get statistics on how many people have logged in. The user data is going to show you those email addresses and names. The inbox is going to show you the feedback that you've got. The next 4 pages of tabs that we have here is about what you can customize within the system. And we've looked at splash pages. We've looked at the review system. We've looked at mailing. The integrations tab has a number of interesting options here. I touched on some of them. That's just about, social Wi-Fi connecting to other systems. And that's not just about pushing the data from our system to another. It can also be about things like dropping Facebook pixel on the pages so that your ad spending can be a little bit more targeted. If you don't know a great deal about Facebook pixel marketing or retargeting, reach out to us. We'll tell you a bit more about that. But it's a really good way to get more specific with your ad spend. So there are some interesting things down here. And like I said, the open API means you can just connect this to anything you want if you know how to develop that. And then the final tabs down here, media, permissions, codes, access points, settings. That's just, the settings that you have within the system. There's nothing too sexy here, so I'm not going to go into a great deal of depth with it. And then we have at the bottom our chat pilot tab, which is just advertising our new WhatsApp communicator service for businesses. So we've built a system that allows large business teams to communicate with their customers through one WhatsApp number. It was a problem for us in social Wi-Fi that we all had to communicate on our personal numbers. We couldn't use all of our devices with one number. So we solved it for ourselves. And then we had clients and partners asking, hey, can we use that? So we built a product around it. If you're interested in WhatsApp systems for business, let us know. We'll happily give you a demonstration of that as well. So that's a quick 20-minute run through of the social Wi-Fi product. The key thing is once you've set up the branding, you need to configure the Wi-Fi network. So the access points tab here will show us the brands that we're integrated with. Hopefully those names are familiar to you in terms of you're using them already. Ubiquity Unify is probably the most popular one these days for setups, but the big enterprise stuff as well, Ruckus, Meraki, TP-Link Armada is becoming a very, very popular vendor as well. And I think in the next few months, we're going to be adding in some other names to this. I think even one is tabled for release later this month, but I can't tell you too much about that right now. But that's the key thing. And once you've chosen the brand that you want to integrate with, so if I take TP-Link here, it's all documented. This is all accessible on our Academy website. There's nothing hidden here. There's nothing secret. You can go in, you can set up your own test network on the access points in your office, and test it out. Give it to your clients. Give them a test of the service as well. The likelihood is I'll start that again. The likelihood is that this is something quite new to them. So the best way for them to evaluate the value of this is for them to have a trial of this, and we can give them a 2-week free trial to check it out. If if you want to learn more about the clients that we are working with, if you go to our website, there is a customers section at the top, and these are our case studies, some of the more recent ones anyway. So you'll be able to go through, pick a sector that you're working with, and there will be a case study there for it. So we've got restaurants, hotels, we've got breweries, shopping malls. Most sectors are covered here, so take a look. And essentially, that's what I wanted to go through here. I would love to get as many of you from this call to the platinum partner tier, where you're earning 50% commission on everything that you sell for the lifetime of the service being in operation. But you all have registered to this, so you have access to contact details to get in touch with us. Reach out if you want to explore this further. Reach out to us so that we can set you up your test partner account, so on and so forth. But unless any questions come through in the next few seconds, I'm going to wrap up this webinar and say thank you for joining me. Okay, looks like nothing coming through, so I wish you all a good day.